Welcome to Guest Talks with Tracy Arbon. Bringing you special guest interviews from musictalks.xyz.
Hi everybody, it's Tracy Arbon here from Guest Talks, Music Talks, with our special guest today is the lovely Eileen Shapiro. I don't know if it's Shapiro or Shapiro, but I'll ask her in a minute. She is a celebrity rock star journalist and a writer, and look, this lady has been doing it for a very long time and she knows her stuff. She's written for some major magazines. She's got her own book out and she's interacted with the who's who of the entire entertainment industry. Welcome, Eileen. Hi.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Is it Shapiro or Shapiro?
It is Shapiro.
Oh, okay.
It's one of my ex-husband's names. So.
Oh, okay. And what's that? That's the one that sounds the best, do you think?
That's the last one anyway.
Oh, I let go of my ex-husband's last name, so we won't go there. What was that?
I said I didn't want to confuse the kids when they were in school, so I kept it.
Yeah, my kids are all got, anyway. So look, Eileen, first of all, how long have you been a journalist for?
Well, I started writing when I was in college. I used to write for Star Trek.
Oh.
I wrote a Star Trek magazine, and then I did the Star Trek medical manual.
Oh, okay.
And so my first interview ever, I was 17, and that was with Leonard Nimoy, Mr. Spock.
Yeah, wow. Oh my gosh, I had no idea about that. Yeah.
And then I stopped to get married a couple of times and have kids. And then I started doing it again about 10 years ago.
Right. Yeah. So what are the you've written for some huge magazines, including Huffington Post. Can you name a few?
Sure. I wrote for Huffington Post. I wrote for Classic Pop in the UK. That's a big one. Louder Than War in the UK.
Uh-huh.
That's number 41 of the most influential magazines in the world.
Wow.
I write for Get Out magazine with an LGBT magazine, but it's number 7 in the world. I write for Hype, which is an urban magazine, which is cool. I write for Vent, Scope, Hollywood Digest.
Wow.
I could, there's a lot of them.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
National Music Guides. And the Pure M magazine, that's an Irish magazine. So pretty much all over the world.
Wow. And so obviously, everybody knows your name of being, a great journalist all over the world.
Thank you.
And so, I mean, do you ever get tired of it?
Never. Everybody has a story, from the biggest people like Dianna Ross to the smallest indie people, that need a chance to rise. I never ever get tired of it. I love it. If someone locked me in a room and said, you have to stay here without eating or sleeping for 48 hours and just interview people, I would say thank you.
Yeah, it's great. It's great interviewing people. And this actually wasn't my plan with Music Talks, believe it or not, doing podcasts. But, I just found I like doing it. And I love listening to other people and I love listening to their stories. And, everybody, to me, we're all equal, we're all people, when we all have a story to tell. And it's fascinating because what we or ourselves might think is boring in our lives, to other people it's quite fascinating. So,
exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tell me about, you've also written a book. Was that the Star Trek giant poster book?
No, the Star Trek.
Oh, the medical reference
manual. That was the first book I wrote. That was a New York Times bestseller. And then I wrote a book called Precious Little Devils, which is a fictional book about rock and roll.
Okay.
And I'll have another book out in about 6 months called Waiting for Adam. And that was all the people I met and interviewed on. For 6 years, I tried to get an interview with Adam Ant, and I couldn't.
Oh.
But on the journey to try and interview him, I wound up interviewing like the best people in life and meeting the best people in life. So I'm going to have a little collective book.
Yeah.
And all the A-list people and even some of the really interesting other people will be in the book, their interviews. So it'll be cool.
Oh, great. So you're going to be placing their interview or how you felt about their interviews in the book, or, how they were as...
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Oh.
I'll have the interview and I'll also write, if the story is cool leading up to it, which it usually is.
Yeah. That sounds great. You also, excuse me, you also are partnered with World Star PR. As well.
I am.
So you
that's the whole reason we started World Star PR is because both Jimmy Star and I were writers, and he has his television show.
Yeah.
And we both do it for free. And we decided if we wanted to continue doing it, we had to eat. Yeah. So, and also the other PR people charge so much, so we charge like a nominal fee.
Oh.
And we wound up representing some of the greatest clients, and meeting the best people in life.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen some of the artists that you're promoting on there. It's quite incredible. And yes, I do know what you mean about the PR costs, and it is a lot. It is a lot for indie artists. And there is, but having said that, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, not just what's posted out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, besides writing and besides them being on the show, there's red carpet events. We book a lot of our clients in different clubs in the UK and in New York and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And and we have to get people to do reviews of their songs, or because we can't do them all and stuff like that. It's a lot of work, but it's really, really rewarding because you know what, we're helping people too, and that's kind of cool. Yeah,
no, it's great. We can't do without people like you, and we can't, do without
you.
Oh, thanks. I forget about what I do, but no, and you just enjoy it, and even though you get, I don't know, there's times I think that. At the moment, I'm at a very different stage to where you are at. To me, it feels like I'm just starting.
Well, you're getting there.
Yeah. Oh, just keep going. I just, the idea of it all, too, is also to keep having fun. Otherwise, you lose.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, is a really important message that I try to get out to artists as well. As an artist, just keep having fun. Don't think about things too much. Just
exactly,
and go with it.
Yeah, you have to have fun, and you have to understand that there's going to be good times and bad times, and you just have to keep going. Yeah, because it's your dream, and everyone should have a dream that they can fulfill.
Yeah, and you only live one life, so
exactly.
Do it.
Not a dress rehearsal.
No, that's right. So do you also do social media training?
I do. That's more Jimmy than myself. Okay. I'm really, really good on Facebook. He's a Twitter guru. But we do try to help our clients learn how to, get followers and fans and stuff like that through social media, and that's really consuming.
It is. It is. I can vouch for that. It's just trying to also get artists up that you're making sure you don't get the wrong, I guess, handles.
Exactly. I mean, we have people on Twitter that start out and they have like 100 followers. That's not good.
Yeah.
Twitter's harder than Facebook though. Facebook to me is so easy. Actually, Jimmy taught me Twitter, I have to be honest.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I do like Twitter. I was on Facebook a lot. I do post a lot on Facebook, but I don't know. I just find that still with now I've come back to Twitter. I'm really enjoying the interaction on Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter's fun. It is. It's the whole thing is fun. Everything that I do in life is fun.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I need to start doing more of that, I think. What do they say? Play hard, live hard, play hard, work hard, or something like that. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So, so can you tell me how did you begin like in writing? What was it that were you great at English? Were you an English teacher or what?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't even an English major, but I was always good in writing. I was always in like English honor classes and stuff like that. And you know what writing is? It's not even really a talent. Okay, it's a practice. You get good at it, and you get better and better at it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a learned behavior almost.
Yeah.
And the more I do it, you know, the easier it becomes. But you know what? When I interview people, I still get that nervous feeling. It doesn't matter who it is. You still always get that nervous feeling in your stomach, you know,
yeah.
like butterflies until you actually say hello, and then it gets easy.
Yeah.
But and I think if I ever lose that I'm going to stop writing, because I mean, half the fun of it is like, oh my God, like today I'm interviewing I don't know. Who have I interviewed recently? All right, Nile Rodgers. I interviewed him recently.
Yeah, yeah.
And I only had like 40 minutes. Not even. I had, I think, 30 minutes warning. The PR person called me and said, "Can you interview him like in 30 minutes?" And I didn't even have a question. I was like, "Sure." You're not going to say no to that.
Yeah, yeah.
And the cool thing is, I usually meet everyone that I wind up interviewing.
Oh, that's great.
Normally after the fact, which is, I mean, I do some in person. I did Emma Stone in person, and I do, you know, some in person, but mostly I do it over the phone, and then I meet them, and it's so cool.
Right.
Because you already know them then, you know?
Yeah, and
you're already friends when you meet them.
Yes. Because
you've had this intimate conversation. Normally, my conversations are really, really intimate for some reason. They, I don't know. I start with a question, and then we just start talking, and it becomes more of a conversation than an interview, which is cool.
I think that's the best way, though.
Yeah, definitely. You know, unrehearsed. I don't even look up people before I interview them. I don't look up their background or anything like that. You know, of course, if it's someone like Annie Lennox or Dianna Ross or Boy George, you already know a lot anyway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, but I feel like when the reader's reading it, they haven't done the research. So it's only fair for me not to do the research so that they understand what I'm talking about. You know, it's more of a let them read it from the eyes of someone that doesn't know about them.
Yes.
Yet.
Yeah, exactly. Somewhat like what we're doing now.
Exactly.
And how this came about. This is great because this is for anybody who's listening to this, this was a very spur of the moment, and we just said, hey, you want to have a chat? And here we are. So
very impromptu.
Very. Now you've also Dionne Warwick. Have you met Dionne Warwick?
Yes, I've actually met her several times. I think it was 2 weeks ago we actually hung out with her, and we're now invited to something she's doing with Clive Davis.
Oh.
The first. So yes, I've met her several times. Actually, I interviewed her granddaughter, and I was the first person that ever interviewed her granddaughter. So we became friends right away, and then I met her at one of her granddaughter's shows, and then I kind of keep interviewing her. You know, I've interviewed her several times now. I've interviewed her a lot, several times. She's great.
Yeah.
She's great.
So what do you do? Sorry?
A lot of energy she has.
What do you do when you hang out with these artists?
Well, it depends. A lot of times there's, other fans there, and they have to talk to them a little bit. And with Dionne's thing, she was doing a radio interview, and we were invited to listen. And then afterwards, we spoke with her, and she took pictures with us too, because I always like to take pictures with people I interview. Just, I don't know, just because it's fun.
Yeah.
And but they're sometimes it's a press junket, okay? Like Emma Stone from The Favorite, and La La Land. We actually got to meet her and all the people in that movie. And what it was is they went from room to room, and there were like 3 of us in a room interviewing her at a time. Right. So that was kind of cool too. It depends. When I met Adam Ant, which was like the height of my life, I actually met him several times. I met him before I interviewed him. Right. Which was cool. And then I met him in his dressing room after I interviewed him, and he kissed me on the lips, so I was really happy.
Oh, dear. Oh, my gosh. Did you wash your lips? Or did you wait for a while?
I'm real careful when I brush my teeth not to touch my lips.
Oh, dear. Oh, gosh. It's great that you can meet them. I'm so far away that everybody I interview is just, I feel like I'm kind of sitting in like a bubble.
But Australia is like a bubble. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, I often say like we stand on our heads here. Yeah. And when people say we drive on the wrong side of the road, I say, well, it's because we're upside down. So if you turn everything upside down, we're actually on the correct side of the road. So.
Right. Yep. But you guys have kangaroos and we don't.
Yeah. We have a lot of things that aren't as friendly either.
I heard.
But it's really not that bad. It's really not. It's really not that bad down here. We do have things that kill us, but we're all still alive. I mean, well, most of us. Now, I want to ask you about Boy George. It's really Boy George is often in Australia.
Yes.
Yeah, so because he does one of the very big talent shows. He's one of the judges on...
Yes.
Yeah, on one of our very big talent shows down here. And it's really funny because I tweeted or replied to a tweet of his, and I know a lot of these big artists don't get... Well, some of them do, I suppose. But, I just go for it anyway. And I said, it'd be great to have you, love to chat with you on a podcast or something. You should... Oh, no, he was actually... That's right. It was actually about he'd mentioned something about tired of hearing just similar music. Where can he find other music? And, of course, that's where I jump in, hey?
Yeah.
So I did, of course. And, but I didn't hear back. But I'm fascinated with Boy George, I guess because he's from, our era as well.
He's fascinating, though. He's fascinating. And that came about really strange. I was at a concert with, I bring my photographer along. His name is Billy Hess. And Billy Hess, he's a concert photographer. And we came there actually to photograph Tom Bailey from the Thompson Twins and the B-52s.
Right.
And Boy George was, of course, headlining, and we were told, well, you can't take pictures of him. All of a sudden, his manager came up to me and said, where's the guy with the camera? Are you friends with him? I said, I am. And he said, well, Boy George's photographer isn't coming tonight, so can he take pictures? And after Billy almost passed out on the floor... he took pictures, and then we met them after stage, and his manager said, I'll tell you what, if you do the best review of your life, I'll let you interview him. So I did the best review of my life. And I not only got to interview him, but I also wrote the bio for his first album in 19 years.
Oh.
So that was... And he was on the phone for almost 2 hours.
Wow. So he can talk a lot then, right?
He can, and what he says is brilliant. He was brilliant.
Yeah. So, but he's one of the guys that he's managed to keep it all together very well. I'm not saying other people in the past haven't, but he's managed to be able to keep it going in a sense to be able to still reach out for the current generation too.
Yes, he's absolutely totally relevant. His new album is relevant. He's very spiritual.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's everybody has a past. Okay. Yeah. And he likes to talk about his past. Even though I was told by the PR people don't let him talk about it, you can't stop a person.
But it's not.
He had a rough life a little bit. So
yeah,
but he's great.
But it's not as if people who knew him back then. don't know about his past.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. It's not like it's been a secret, really. I mean...
No, and he doesn't really care if it's a secret or not. He doesn't really want to keep it. He wants people to learn from it, which I think is cool.
I think it's great. But a lot of people are talking out about everything now.
Mm-hmm.
The whole...
And he's...
Sorry.
He's just brilliant. He's brilliant. I can't even impress upon you how brilliant he is.
Wow. Yeah, I would love to have a chat with him, but I kind of think that I doubt that would happen. Who am I?
You never know. You never know. His manager is great. His manager is PK.
Okay.
And he's great, and he's very helpful to George and helpful to people like us. So you never know.
That's right. You don't. I guess you're right. You're right. You'd never know. It's interesting though, also because back in the day, I keep saying this. I feel like every podcast or interview I do, I talk about back in the day, and I think it shows our age. But it's interesting to see how music has evolved in the sense of how people are perceived. If
that's true.
And like the current generation, I had this chat the other day with my daughter, my 15-year-old, and I couldn't figure out what generation I actually fit into, because I'm definitely not a millennial and not a baby boomer, but I'm just after the baby boomers and just before the 1970s, before, just in that middle bit. I said, there is no generation for me. We're the lost generation. So
I always tell everyone the 80s were the best. So
I think that's what I do too. I definitely say the same. But back in the day, I was just saying that mystery was a big thing with music and artists. They'd like to keep the mystery, and I guess you could back then because there wasn't the social media. But nowadays, it's the story and the honesty, how real a person is, that is attracting to the younger generation. Because I guess there's so much, dare I say, bullshit out there as well, that you want to make sure they get the real. They want to make sure they get the real side of somebody, and they appreciate that, and that goes down so well. Hence the amount of video content there is up and out now, and people showing their lives behind the scenes. And I mean,
exactly.
Yeah. Do you find how do you find the change has been since, like, over the years that you've been doing it? Is it easier or harder as far as
the interview itself?
Well, I guess yeah. I mean, are they more open now compared to what they used to be?
They are more open. Most artists now don't really make any money unless they tour.
Yeah.
Or unless there's someone like Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
And these artists know that.
Yeah.
But they still want to be creative, and they still want people, to hear about their music and their story. So I find it actually easier and easier to interview people because they're more willing. I interviewed Toni Braxton, and she was really, I mean, some of these people tell me their life stories. I mean, their whole life stories.
Wow.
And they want to tell their stories.
Yeah.
And I always ask, because I never print anything bad about anyone. I just won't.
Yeah.
So I asked first, is it okay to print? And they're like, yeah. And some people had some hard times or whatever. So, I might cover it up a little bit as far as like really bad things happening to them, because I'm not negative.
Yeah.
But I mean, they want their stories to be told, and they all have different opinions on how music's changed. I interview a lot of people from the 80s. I do. Because I love people from the 80s, and these people are still strong and relevant, and still. One of my favorite interviews was an Australian, Rick Springfield.
Oh my God.
I interviewed him twice.
Oh, that's okay. Great. That's okay. That's fine. Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
He was great. He talked all about Australia, and he doesn't really have an Australian accent anymore. It's kind of American.
Yeah.
But when he gets really excited, the Australian accent comes out, and it's really cool. Yeah, he was my favorites. I interviewed another Aussie. I interviewed Colin Hayes.
Oh, really?
And he's, yeah. And I mean, he was born in Scotland, but he moved to Australia, so he's kind of Australian. He was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody's just pretty much, dare I say, I know people will probably, maybe the artists would hate me saying this, but everyone's just normal.
They're pretty normal. I agree.
Just
very normal.
The people.
Yeah.
What do you think? I read something recently that, I don't get, personally, I don't get G'd up too much anymore. I don't get angry. I just, I think so much has happened. And you just keep going but I did read something recently from a journalist who the name wasn't even on this article, on his entire blog. I don't know who it is, but it's a big blog, and he won't say, he or she won't say who runs it, but everything they've written was had a negative spin on it all the time. What do you think when you see articles or not interviews, but more articles or somebody's perception or whatever they write about, that's always seems to be negative or as if they've got this big chip on their shoulders? What do you think about that? Yeah, and they have a lot of followers, which is bizarre.
Well, because, you know why? Because people tend, I think, my own opinion, tend to want to read negative things about people also, as well as positive things. And there's positive people and negative people. And usually these writers that are negative, I think, my opinion, they're looking to sensationalize, make a buck with the negativity and the criticisms and stuff like that. And it's, I don't think it's very becoming, number one, or very professional, number two.
No.
And, like they'll do a review of an artist and it'll be a terrible review. And I'll think to myself, who are they? They're just one person.
Yeah, and it's one person's opinion too.
It's one, right. When I do a review, I always say one person's opinion. And my opinion, I'm nobody. You know what? I'm not, I can play guitar, but I don't consider myself a musician. I'm a writer. And who am I to say something horrible about someone else's talent just because I don't like it?
Yeah.
So I'll find something cool. If I see them in person, a live show, and they weren't good, I'll focus on what they wore or something cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Find the good. Find the good in somebody.
Because these people, it's their living, it's their livelihood.
And they are people.
Who wants to ruin someone's life?
That's right. And I guess, years ago, there used to be a lot more negative spin on everything because it created attention, and I think people just want that attention. However, it seems to build that same community. I always say, even on Twitter, you've seen my posts, so I always try to create a positive.
And you do.
Oh, do I? Does it come across as that?
It does. It does.
Okay.
That's why I liked you right away.
Oh, really? I'm like, let's have a party.
It's a big responsibility doing a podcast or writing or something. I mean, you have someone's life in your hands, actually, while you're interviewing them, theoretically.
Yeah, and you don't know who's listening, and you don't know there's also a lot of kids that are in difficult places, and I think it's really, really important for them to hear the positives in life, because really, when you think about it, there actually are more things to be thankful for.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
you're living and you're breathing. You should start there.
Yeah, you have a roof and you have food, and
exactly.
You're the only one that can ultimately, at the end of the day, make decisions and choices that is entirely up to you. So, and I think that when I see tweets as well, and there's just lots of negative tweets from the same people complaining, they're only going to attract complainers. Right,
exactly. I believe in it. Do you know what the secret is?
Oh,
There's a book couple of years ago called The Secret. It's about positive energy.
I've got 2 copies there.
There you go. I live my life because it never not works.
Yeah,
I live my life with The Secret. If I want to interview someone really bad, like Adam, I am relentless until I get that interview.
Go out to the universe and say, come
exactly.
on.
Exactly.
If you see the books that I've been reading, that I have read in the past, on my Facebook page, it's actually on my private Facebook page, the books is like Eckhart Tolle books and stuff like that, which I started reading like around the time that my mother passed away, which was like 10 years ago. And it helped me transition into getting my life back on track. And I needed that at that time when I was going through that, when you go through a big life event such as that. And there's also great, podcasts that you can listen to just to get, a lot of people say, it's all, crap and it's all, but you know what? If it does something for you and it helps you, it's not crap.
Right.
If it
if it helps one person, it's not crap.
No, that's exactly right. And I think, and I mean, I like to kind of encourage people instead of, somebody might say to me, what do you think of my music? And if it's only my opinion and like we were talking, but I guess, I have bbeen trained more as a vocalist. I went to the Conservatorium of Music and things like that. And, but I really hone in on vocals, but I don't like to be too picky because people can improve. And so I don't like to put that negative spin on things. I
agree.
I think it's very, very important. So the life of a journalist and a writer can be tricky. What happens when you find something you don't like?
I probably won't write it. I haven't really come across any interview, with the exception of one silly little interview that I actually, didn't do. I had some country and western singer once, she was an indie artist, and I kept asking her questions, and she kept telling me that it's not about her. I said, well, I'm interviewing, so it needs to be a little bit about you. And, I tried everything. I said, well, what do you want to talk about then? And she kept saying, this interview isn't about me. So I finally said, I'll tell you what, when you decide that maybe we could do an interview a little bit about you, then call me back. But that's probably the worst of it. When I come across articles that I don't like or whatever, I don't comment on them unless they're attacking someone that I personally love to death. Then I might say, just like seriously or really. Yeah. I'm not one of those people that have to put my 2 cents in, unless they're hurting a friend of mine or saying something bad about an artist. I'll give you an example. Somebody reviewed Adam once, and it wasn't a great review. And I did tell the person that reviewed it. I said, this was not a good review, and why would you do that to someone? And then it was on his pages, and I had the people that run Adam's pages take it down, and they did. So
that's great. You see, you've got you've got pull. You've got it. Yeah, that's cool. That is great.
Well, it's not so much pull. It's just I had to make them realize that this isn't doing anyone any good. So why keep it up there?
No, and that's exactly right. So from the people that are new and starting out, not just indie musicians or new bloggers or writers or whatever they're doing, people who are new, that have kind of bees in their bonnets, so to speak. I've seen a lot of horrible things on people who are very, very unknown attacking other platforms, other people, other entities that are trying to start up that might be becoming successful. I'm not talking about me, by the way. Okay. But I have seen, I've had that. That's fine. I just let them go and don't worry about it. But Yeah, I do. I just seriously, I'm so over that. I just bypass it all now.
Me too. Me too.
So
I could.
I go, oh, whatever. Yeah, you're entitled to your opinion, whatever. But there are people who go to lengths to try and ruin other people's lives. Like, really, I've seen some horrid things just recently that I think, why are you doing this? And these could be bloggers or trying to maybe get their own platforms up or radio stations. And there's a lot of stuff going out there in radio land that, I don't know, there's this I don't get involved in it. I just won't. I just don't. I just stick to my own thing. But it's just, I don't know why they do this. Do they not realise that this is not the way to become successful?
How about because they have nothing better to do?
Or how about
That's the way I look.
Oh, well, I look at it as they're just not busy enough.
Exactly.
They are not.
They have nothing better to do. They're trying to get a platform, and they think that that's the way to do it, and it's not.
No, instead of trying to find other avenues on how to build your platform in a positive manner. Like,
exactly.
You know, you've got to put out, there's a certain perception that you've got to put out. And I really believe that what you do in the past will come back and bite you.
I do too. I believe in karma, number one. I really do.
Yeah.
And I believe that if you put positive energy out there and you write positive things, you're gonna get more people that want to interview. Yeah. I interviewed Cyndi Lauper 12 times. Okay, 12.
Oh my God, love Cyndi Lauper. Yeah,
that's a lot for somebody.
That's huge. You know,
and I have people coming back for more all the time.
That's great.
And I love it. You know, so if I write something bad about someone, guess what? Nobody's going to be seeking me out to get an interview from.
That is so
why
true.
Do it? Why do it?
That's so. I mean, you can be honest, but you can also be nice about things too. I guess. I don't know. I don't. You know, I don't do many reviews, music reviews.
I try not to. Also.
Yeah.
I really try not to. I do if they beg. I do if it's going to really help someone out. I'll do it.
Or if I personally feel that a song should be a hit, and let me tell you, I mean, I love the artists that have been on Music Talks and that I try to help out. But, you know, as you know, there's a lot of PR that comes in, and out of not just respect for the artists, but respect for the fans, it is really, like, not really our job, I suppose, to choose just what we like, because everybody has a different opinion. So you've got to put it all out there.
No, I totally agree with you.
Do you think...
I will do a review for a client, for an example, because I really believe in that client. I really love the song.
Mm.
And I want it to get out there. I want people to know that I love the song. Mm. And if anybody listens to me, then maybe they'll love the song too, or at least they'll listen to it.
Yeah.
You know, but to write something negative, it's just, there's just no reason for it. Yeah. So I'd rather not write anything at all.
Yeah.
I have the greatest clients, first of all. I do. They're all amazing, positive people, every single one of them, from Scott Page, from Pink Floyd to
I interviewed a few weeks ago. Gosh, he's amazing.
Amazing. He's brilliant. He's positive. He's great. He's fun, and he's just an amazing person. And then you have I have little indie artists too that I represent that are just, they're so talented.
Yeah.
And they should be famous, you know, but it's just so hard today with the music industry. It is.
How frustrated do you get when you hear, like, because I've heard, I would probably say a handful of songs that I really think, I don't like using the word hit too broadly. But I have heard, when I hear just, you know, a hit, I just jump up and down. I will try my hardest to, I don't know, get people to listen, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if I hear a really great song and I love it, I'll just put him on Jimmy's show. Jimmy, you gotta. This guy is great, and sometimes Jimmy won't agree, but he'll do it anyway. And some people are just, they're so amazing, and no one will ever hear of them. Nobody, and that's so sad to me. It's very frustrating. Very frustrating. There's a couple of bands in England that are really, really, they're just amazing. Smiley and the Underclass, they're a reggae band, and they sing songs about England, and if you've been to the UK, because I've been many, many, many times, you'll see that their songs are right and they're true, but they're never going to get anywhere because they're just in England, and they have no other means to travel or tour or something. So it does get frustrating.
Yeah. So let me just ask you, apart from the music and the entertainment world, what do you like doing in your spare time? What do you do to chill out? Listen to music.
What spare time?
Sorry.
I go on Twitter. No, I actually I go and I meet my clients. I'm going to Los Angeles on Friday. On Thursday I'm going to meet Nile Rodgers because he's doing a concert. On Friday I'm going to LA to actually listen to Scott Page and the Think Experience play, because they do a virtual reality thing that's supposed to be wild.
Oh my God.
And I represent Devo, some of the boys from Devo, and they're meeting me there. So it's going to be a big party, and Jimmy and Ron are going to meet us there.
Oh, gosh.
You should come, Tracy. You should come.
I would love to. I mean, it's probably easier for me as one person to go there, other than asking Scott Page to bring the Think Experience down here.
He will eventually. He will one day.
I tell you what, I guarantee he'll get people there.
Yeah, definitely.
Just, look, I would love, that just looks brilliant. So is this the first time that you're going to be seeing his Think Experience show?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my God, how exciting.
Which is going to be crazy. It's something that nobody else is doing.
No, he's a smart man.
So smart.
And when I spoke to him, I felt like, oh, I'm really dumb.
I always feel so dumb when I talk to him. And I said, listen, I have nails. I barely can get on a computer. So you're probably talking to the wrong person. I said, but keep talking. Yeah. Maybe I'll get it.
Oh, dear. And I find that... oh, my God, this is so funny. I find that when I think too much, I get a headache. My head hurts. No.
A lot of times when I interview people, I obviously record the conversation because you can't remember everything they say, and I try to keep the interview as much as I can exactly what the person said.
Right.
All their intonations, everything.
Right.
And when I was interviewing Scott for the first time, before he was a client, I thought I was going to kill myself. I mean, he was so technical. I'm like, what am I going to do with this?
Oh, I know. Well, you know what's really funny about it is I'm rebuilding the Music Talks website, and I can't afford to actually get somebody to rebuild it for me. So in between the interviews and getting all the articles up on Music Talks, which is like full time, every second I get, if I think, I've got an hour space here, I better work on the site. And so I'm trying to do it myself, and by doing it, I've actually come up with some other ideas that don't even exist. Now, this is quite scary, because I had a meeting with some people last week and I told them this idea, and they went, holy shit, you need to get together with this guy and develop this app for that. And, and so I've started thinking about all the technical stuff. And I was thinking, oh, my God, this is how it happens. So then I tried reading about making apps, and my head really hurt. Like, I had a headache. I thought getting my head around, other things. And that, I don't know if it's a problem that I have. Like, I'm always thinking of different things, but I now understand where these tech guys, I think, come from whenever they try things, and that unless you start doing something, sometimes those ideas don't come.
Right.
But, you know, I'm trying to get my head around now, how is this going to work? How can I build this app? And it will be the first of its kind, and it will be revolutionary for the music industry. And
well, don't tell anyone.
I'm not telling anyone. That's all I'm going to say.
Copyright it first.
Actually, what do they call it? To have it as your own, you know, it costs something like $200,000 to have that idea, which I don't have. So I keep playing the lottery. You know, we were talking about that before.
Wait, do you guys have Shark Tank over there?
We do, but it's not on air at the moment.
Oh no!
But I have made a connection with somebody, believe it or not, out of somebody I met from the meetings last week, and he's very technical, and I'm hoping to get together with him, and we'll work this out. But I'm actually really excited about it. There's similar things out there, but not exactly what this will do, which is. I'm so excited about this, and which I've never really mentioned. It's the first time I've mentioned it, but...
Well, here's the deal.
This is my problem.
No, when it comes out, right before it comes out, I want the exclusive, okay?
Mm-hmm. You got it. It's one of those things that can make it on the stock market.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's just... And I had another idea that could make it in the stock market, but I've actually heard that somebody else is already doing it. It's not out yet. Well, and I thought...
The one that isn't out, just do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Oh, I am. I just got to find the spare day to link up with this guy. And he's in Sydney. And, like, how amazing is that? I'm just like...
So amazing.
No way, you're in Sydney. Like, I can speak to you in my time. And, you know. So
just being in the same time zone with somebody is an effort. That's great.
It's a bonus. Sorry, I got off track then. So do you get any, like, ideas, like, of, you know, you do written interviews. Do you do like, podcasts like this?
I don't. You know what? I write for 40 magazines. Okay.
Oh yeah, I guess you're busy. Sorry.
If I have 5 interviews a week, that's a really, really slow week for me. Right. And the thing is, when you do an interview and you write it out, the rule of thumb is for every 20 minutes you talk to someone, that's 4 hours that you're going to be spent writing about it without the introduction.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, a lot of my interviews go an hour.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
You know, they used to give us a time limit. Once in a while, some PR person will say, all right, you have 10 minutes with such and such. Okay, so you try and keep it within the 10 minutes, but people want to talk about themselves. You're interviewing them. They're supposed to talk about themselves. So, of course, it goes 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. Like when I did Adam, they said, all right, you have a half hour. And I was thinking, wow, a half hour, that's really long. And they said, if he likes your questions, he'll go further. Wow. If he doesn't like questions, he's going to cut you off. So here I was interviewing the dream of my life. And I was worried about the questions, but the thing was, he loved my questions, and he kept saying, "Wow, that's a good question." And I was like, "Yes." So he went over a half an hour, and then I really didn't have anything else to ask him. So I said, "Okay, I guess I've taken enough of your time." I could have spoken to him forever. I don't know what I was thinking, why I did that.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but I mean, you've had the opportunity to come back and interview him again.
He doesn't really do too many interviews. I've met him again, though. I've met him again.
Right.
And I actually did an email interview with him after because he was busy. Yeah. But I've reviewed him. He's one person I will review over and over again because I actually really like him.
Really?
So, yes.
I get that. Oh, that's so funny. No, but I get that. I'm trying to think who would be my favorite person right now, but I can't think.
Who's your
sorry?
Growing up, who was your idol?
Oh my gosh, I would have to say Whitney Houston. And
okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, Aretha Franklin.
That's a good one too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so and also, the person I would love to meet, I guess, if you ask me who I'd like to meet, I guess it would probably be Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah, I would like to meet her too. I interviewed her makeup artist, actually.
Oh, you're getting close. That's good.
Yeah, it was pretty close. It was pretty close.
I like her dogs.
That might be the closest I ever get, but it was cool because he told me a lot of stuff. His name is Mr. Wells, and he George Wells, and he was brilliant too. He was her makeup artist for 30 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder though, these other really, really big, people like Oprah Winfrey, I'm just trying to think when the last time I actually saw her being interviewed.
You know what? You're right. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder if anybody has actually approached her and said, would you like to be interviewed?
Tracy, we should do it. Let's approach her. Both of us.
Yeah, this could be... Hey, we're onto something here.
There you go.
We'll talk about this after this. we'll get this happening. We could do it in a Skype group chat.
We could.
Man.
We could. How fun.
Yeah.
How fun would that be?
That'd be great. That'd be really great. Now you've got me thinking, so I have to stop thinking now. Okay. So, getting back on track. When's the book coming out again? Your book?
Probably within the next 6 months or so.
Okay.
It's it needs to be. I need to write 1 or 2 more chapters, and then it needs to be typed and put together, and then then it will come out.
Oh, that's cool. That's great. That's great.
Exciting.
Well, we were talking about people's writing and how people become a journalist or a writer, and it, as you said, it comes with practice. And I never really studied it either. I just do what I guess the tone of my voice is. Sometimes I wear my mother hat. I don't know if you've seen my mother hat.
I did.
Sometimes the music tips. It's like, guys, now you need to do this. It's like I'm speaking to my 18-year-old.
There you go.
Trying to tell her, about how to do things, but she doesn't listen to me anyway. So hey, yeah. What do I say?
None of my kids listen.
Sorry,
None of my kids listen to me.
No. What do I know?
I brought my kids when they were really little to Anna Mann concerts, Billy Idol concerts, and I thought they were going to grow up so cool. My son's a little bit cool, but my daughters, they're they're teachers and librarians, and they wear buns. I'm like, what? Where did I go wrong?
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So conservative. I'm like, oh my God.
I've got the other end of the spectrum. My 15-year-old begged me for another piercing yesterday. And I said no. I've let her go with, because she actually suffers severe anxiety, and we've got quite a few health issues with her. I did one little interview with Ali from Ali's Attic.
I know.
Oh, did you hear that?
I didn't hear it, no, but I know who she is because she actually interviewed some of my clients.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I did speak about my very personal life, which I don't often speak about. But it was about my daughter and her health issues and her not being at school for 2 years and not being able to go to school. But when she gets to a point and she's extremely anxious or upset or whatever the case may be, she always wants a piercing. And
that's interesting.
Yeah. And she's got her nose pierced on the side, and the agreement was at that point she wasn't going to go and get her hair coloured again because I was worried it will fall out. She kept having to bleach it twice because she's dark just to get the colour. And I said, no, you're going to ruin it. Your skin is so fair. Her skin is like Nicole Kidman's skin. It is so white. And anyway, so I said, can I get a piercing? And this was like ages ago. It was like over a year ago. And I said, okay. She asked for the nose one. What's it called? Where it goes in between your nose? I said, no, you look like a cow.
Nose ring,
yeah. You look like a cow. You can have one on your side of your nose with just a little diamond in there, like, or something. And so she agreed to it, but then later took it out and put a ring in there, which is fine. I went, okay, cool. And then it got to another stage. She wanted another piercing, but we got there and she wanted an industrial piercing. Do you know what that is?
No, what is that?
Oh, man, it's this bar that's put right through the top of your ear. And the more we learnt about it, and then I looked at YouTube videos, and you are not having that.
It has to really hurt.
Yeah, it does. So anyway, she went for the second piercing in her ear. So she's got 2 little holes, just normal, right? Oh, that's fine. I can handle that. Then only 2 months ago, she was upset about something. And we went in, and initially she was just going to get another 3rd piercing on her ear. And we came out with an eyebrow piercing.
My kids had eyebrow piercings.
Yeah.
They did.
Now she wants to get the one between her nose, her eyes. And she was at me yesterday. I want to get 2 piercings done today. And this was yesterday. And I said, why 2? Because it's 2 for 1.
I love it.
I just like, oh my God. But so my kids, the younger one is very edgy. And she wants to be edgy. So, she's 15. You never know what will happen. The other one is the other one's in another land altogether. I don't know where she is. She's a YouTuber. So, yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, it's funny how kids turn out, isn't it?
So funny.
Yeah.
Funny.
Is there anything you'd like to mention? Like anything you'd like to...
You know what? What I want to mention is I want to thank you for this interview, first of all. And I want to interview you, so I think we need to trade. And only mine isn't a podcast. Mine will be all over the media. But
okay.
Not a podcast. I think we should do that. And we can talk about that after if you'd like. And I want to thank you for having a lot of my clients on your show.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, it's such a pleasure talking to them.
And I think that you have a really good show. I need to say that.
Oh, thank you. I just do what I do, I don't even listen to other people's podcasts. Should I do that?
I don't know. I don't usually read other people's articles, so there.
Yeah, it's
sometimes
interesting.
Good, but then I think I'll be influenced. So I don't know. You know what? No, you shouldn't.
No.
You shouldn't, because what you're doing is great.
Oh, thank you.
You don't need the influence.
You just stay focused.
Maybe you can listen to Jimmy here and there because he's fun, just for the entertainment value.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, I definitely have seen them, so that's no problem. Yeah, and I think it's all about being yourself anyway. And same with being a writer. I was going to say, and also being a writer is more it's you. It's your expression that comes out, and I think it's great. You
have to be authentic, whatever you do, because people know if you're not.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got your interview up here now with Boy George and Emma Stone. I'm looking at that now. That's
Yay.
so cool. Wow. Oh, and Kesha. Oh my gosh.
I did Kesha. I have one more person that I need to interview more than life itself. I need to interview Billy Idol. I've met him many times, but I've never interviewed him.
Okay.
So I need to do that. So I think we should all make a Facebook page. Eileen needs to interview Billy Idol.
we need to make sure he's tagged so many times over social media within the space of 24 hours that he has to notice.
Exactly.
So and you know the trick to the sharing, all you need is 12 shares within half an hour on Facebook and you'll get some traction.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's a secret. Not that I have time to do that and round up 12 people. It's actually harder than what it sounds.
It is harder.
It is, yeah. It sounds easy, but try and get 12 people to do it within the space of half an hour.
On Facebook, I'll write this great article, and I really want people to read it, and I'll get like 7 or 8 likes. Then I'll put a picture of myself doing something stupid and get like 100 likes. Go figure.
I know. It's really weird. I find that too. Also on Twitter, I would post about the artists and then I'll just do something, saying something about myself, and everybody goes like, and I go, huh?
I know. How does that happen?
Like, huh? Aren't you listening to the artists?
I know.
It's not about me. It's about them. It's bizarre. Anyway.
It is.
Look, Eileen, this was a great chat. This is really cool.
Totally love it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You.
And we've got to get Oprah. We'll do that.
We do. We talk about that.
It's been fun. Thank you, Eileen.
And thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Guest Talks with Tracy Arbon, bringing you special guest interviews from musictalks.xyz.